Ravens lose to the Chiefs 20 to 27. Um, I have a lot of things to get off my chest about this game, man. One, offensive line didn't play well. Um, who would have thought that when Zeitler left and then Moses left, and you would have thought that Lamar would be running for his life every time the ball was snapped. Um, I didn't like what I was seeing from the O line. It's like as soon as Lamar snapped the ball, he didn't even have 4 or 5 seconds to drop back and look. They were already pretty much breaking through. Um, Play calling I think could have been better. I understand what Todd Monken was trying to do. Because the offensive line couldn't pretty much pass protect, so he was trying to just get the quick game out. I mean, Justice Hill turned into Christian McCaffrey, which is kind of funny. I didn't like what I was saying from that. But I understand the play calling to an extent. I mean, we couldn't even run Derrick Henry as often. I mean, I think he only ran the ball 13 times. Every time Derrick Henry got the ball, 1 or 2 yards, he's tackled behind the line of scrimmage, or it just no holes to open it up for him. If you'd asked me in the offseason, I didn't think the O line would look this bad. I mean, it is the Chiefs, it is Chris Jones, but come on, man. Like, um, the receivers, um, Zay did his thing. It looked like Lamar was trying to feed him early, which I have no problem with. But the thing I've always said, we need that big body receiver, the one who can just pretty much go up and get 50-50 balls. We don't have that as of now. Bateman did have a great catch down the sideline. Um, and it seems Lamar was just taking off a lot. I mean, he had over 100 yards rushing. I think like 12 carries. So he was rushing a lot. So I don't know what he was seeing. I don't know whether the receiver's not getting open, or I don't know, did he get nervous? But yeah, man, the O line was not blocking um, at all. I mean, a lot of those calls were on Ronnie Stanley. They're trying to implement this rule, but the lineman has to be backed up off the line of scrimmage. Um, I don't believe it was. I do think they were trying to set a message and set a precedent. First game of the season, they did say in the offseason they were going to call that more. But damn, I didn't know they were going to call it every time the Ravens get a positive play. Um, if you go look online, a lot of times, a lot of people were posting that the Chiefs players were lined up the same way and no call. It's just crazy when you really think about it, because like I don't want to be that guy that like blames the refs. Like I hate being that guy, but it's just when you really sit down, and I've been a fan of this team for damn near my whole life. But when you really sit down, man, Tom Brady used to get the same treatment. If anybody remembers when he played in New England, um, man, you couldn't even barely touch him, man. They throw a flag, and it seems like every time the defense gets a good play or a stop or something, they call something on the defense, and I think that's what I was seeing last night, man. Um, man, it got frustrating at a point, because we'll get 10 yards, 15 yards, penalty. They call that pass. They call that roughing the passer on Matabuke, which is crazy, because all he did was just push, Patrick. But he's becoming that golden boy now, so you can't touch him. You can't, So, and it sucks that it always happens in the AFC. Like, damn, we just got over Tom Brady, bro. Now they have him. But it's like, and like I said, I don't want to feed into that conspiracy thing. What about, the Taylor Swift thing? But man, it's just getting out of hand, man. Like, so at what point does the NFL says, you know what, just the best team wins? Like, why does it always have to be? It seems like some type of script, or some type of hidden agenda that's going on, for a team to win. Like, okay, he dates Taylor Swift allegedly, I guess. Like, bro, what does that have to do with football, bro? Like, I understand she brings ratings, and she brings new eyes to the sport. But the NFL doesn't understand. This is how I know the NFL was so out of touch, bro. Taylor Swift fans are literally probably from the ages of probably 10 to maybe late 20s. Bro, they're not gonna keep watching football. Like that's what I don't get. Like as someone who works in finance and worked in business and has owned a business, bro, you want retaining customers. Like if you was to ask a business owner, hey, do you want 2,000 one-time customers or 1,000 retaining customers? You're taking 1,000 retaining customers because I know that money's coming in is being accounted for. Those 2,000 customers, they're just going to come buy whatever, and then you're never going to hear from them again. So I think that's what the deal with Taylor Swift is they just keep pushing her, over and over and over and over again. And now it's just to the point where it's just like, bro, these fans, one, the eyes aren't on football. Like those fans of Taylor Swift, they are just focused on the Chiefs. They're not focusing on the Ravens, the Lions. They're not focusing on the Cowboys. Bro, they're not watching no other game. They're just watching whoever the Chiefs face. That's it. They're not watching. You know what I'm saying? They're not it's not like saying, okay, it's the Jaguars versus the Bengals tonight. Let's all tune in. No, bro, they're not watching that game. So I don't understand what the NFL was thinking. Like it's just insane when you think about it. And even last year, man, even last year, it was a bunch of bullshit. And even this year, even last night, I felt as though it didn't help that the offensive line didn't play great. The defense didn't play great. I mean, damn, you have Marlon Humphrey. I guess he was in zone, and he's looking for safety help. And you got Xavier Worthy goes 40 yards for a touchdown. Then he gets a he gets a wide receiver run, screen wraparound, and he takes it 50 yards. I mean, he is super fast, but it's just like damn. And what was very surprising to me was Nate Wiggins wasn't in the game a lot, and I was so confused because I'm like, why is Nate? Bro, we spent the first round pick on Nate Wiggins, bro, cornerback from Clemson. Why is he not in the game? Like it just didn't make any sense to me. Like the defense, like we kept putting Roquan against Rasheed Rice. Roquan is a hell of a linebacker. I would say top two in the league. He's not two. He's probably number one. But bro, you just can't have him against any receiver, bro. Like he's just gonna beat him every single time. So I was so confused on why they just kept being in that same formation over and over and over and over again. It just didn't make sense. Like, so it was. I think it was a poor performance, by our part. I mean, the Chiefs didn't play as well either. I mean, Lamar outperformed Patrick Mahomes. Patrick Mahomes' defense they just showed up. Our play calling was awful. I thought. But what's crazy is, I mean, they are the reigning Super Bowl champs. We only lost by 7. We only lost by 7, and we had a Lamar fumble. We had a fourth and we turned the ball over on downs, on fourth down. So and we still only lost by 7. And Isaiah Likely, man, monster. And I was saying this when we drafted him. I remember when we drafted him, and I remember seeing like his stats and stuff from college, and I remember saying like, man, he went kind of crazy in college. I don't know why. I think we got him in like the 4th or 5th. I'm like, damn, he went kind of crazy in college. And man, he had a coming out party last night. No, last year he was going crazy too, but yesterday, man, was special what he did, man. On that 50-yard run, man. He's damn near a tight end height and a wide receiver, and he's like a wide receiver in a tight end's body. Mark Andrews, I mean, they were doubling him all night. He couldn't get open because the Chiefs pretty much said we're going to take away Mark Andrews, and it seemed like no one else was getting open. Zay was okay. Lamar had a couple miscues. I think he'll clean it up. I mean, it's only the first game of the season, but it was kind of sad to see, man. I'm not going to lie. He had Zay wide open and missed him. But I feel like as a quarterback, you can't miss those throws though. You just can't miss those throws. Um, so we have a lot of things to work on. I think the most concerning thing is the offensive line. I'm not worried about the defense. They'll correct that. But the offensive line, man, they have to do something because we play in a division with the Browns and the Steelers and damn even the Bengals. All great front sevens. So if we don't address this immediately, they will feast on us. So that's just my post game breakdown on the game, man. Let me know what y'all think in the comments.